हेलो एंड वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। मैं हूं आपका दोस्त दीपक केसरी और आज हम बात करेंगे डॉकर्स के बारे में। सो नाउ स्टार्ट विद द बेसिक थिंग दैट वी वांट टू डिस्कस. We will discuss here the installation we have discussed. So let me show you how this Docker desktop looks. Basically, this Docker desktop allow you to manage your containers, images and value graphically. You can just click it. Yeah, let's say if you want to just, let's say these are the running, so you can stop this network and it will stop all the containers without typing into the command. Basically this is for you. So you can also see here the list of images. So we will also jump into the command also, what are the basics command to see all these things. So here is the container. Let me run one container so that we can use it, will be very helpful for us in a command to learn. Now jump to the command line. So what are the commands? Basic command to manage the container images. So before jumping into the, okay, let's discuss with the command. I will give you the differences between the image and a container. Basically there are a lot of confusion between what is the image, what is the container, what is this. So I will tell you there is a baseline differences between the image and the container. So just basic things, that is basically we will see the image is basically the blueprint of your application. When you create your image, you will understand what are the things, what are the image and what are the container. So when you run the image and then it is called container. When you run that image, there will be a new container. There is a box. A box is created inside your system that separate. There is an isolated box. The container is basically the isolated one. They have on OS, they have everything. But one difference between the Docker and the virtual machine is that it does not use your physical hardware. It always talks with your kernel. Unlike in VM, we dedicatedly give them a 4 GB or 5 GB of RAM, something whatever we require, we give them. Whatever the disk space they require, we give separate. They are separately, they are not interrelated. They have own kernel, they interact with the hardware with their own kernels. So the basic idea in the Docker is that on the same architecture or same machine, it will talk with your operating system. Let's say when I install the Docker Hub here, this is the Docker desktop, it create a baseline, it create a, what we can say, it's create a boundary that will interact with your operating system. So let's say it make it platform independent. So for the Linux, for the Windows, for the Mac, they all have different, they talk with each other, they all have different layers. And just like a Java, it provides a JDK for all different environment. So when our application is talk with the JDK and the lower level, it's compile it there, and it their responsibility to how to talk with the different environment. From this point, now begin with the basic command here. Let's jump it into the command line. So to check our Docker desktop page running or not. So before running the command, you have to just open this Docker desktop. Without this, you cannot find any Docker command. So I have run this Docker desktop, and now just minimize this, and then now check which version is it installed in your system. Docker -v. You can see this is 24.0.4 is installed in our system. So let's check what are the images inside the system. So let me just type Docker images. So it will give you the list of images that are there in the system. So to remove an image, make sure, let's before jumping into the remove one, so let's check what are the containers in our system. So these are the images. I told you, image and the container are the different thing. Image is the blueprint of application. So I have two applications, the store and the API, that I saw you that it push to my Docker Hub repository. I pulled it from there. And before that, let's jump into the containers. What are the container in my system? So I will use the command docker ps. This will give me the list of running container, not the stop one. If you want to see all the containers in your system, you can type docker ps-a. It will give you the list of container, whether it is running or not. So to start any container or stop any container, you have to provide a container ID with this command docker. We have a command like docker stop, and we have a container ID. Let's say, let me copy this container ID here from this. Let me copy this, and you will say, yeah, this is the running, this app is running, so I will stop this container. So when you use this docker ps command, now it will show you no container is running. So how to delete any container? So to delete any container, you will simply use docker remove command rm and give your container ID, and it will delete that container. When you now again you will see docker ps. So let me all here that hyphen, and now you can see the app is deleted. Here you can see these are the app. Now you can see the app page not there, basically the application that I deleted here. So before deleting your images, make sure that your image is not used in any container. So if you go to delete directly in the image, it will throw you an error that this image is already in use, so you cannot delete that. That's why let me delete one more, that is the API. So I want to tell you that how we can delete an image. So let me just use this docker remove, and I want to delete this image too. Just copy this and paste this and just enter. So now we can remove the image after this. Let me just type the image remove. You can see here these are the image, or there are the image ID. Let me copy this image ID, and this you can also provide the list of image also. So here is the list. We can say, if I space, I think I miss the first one is the 5 here. Okay, now just copy this second one image ID. Now you will enter and it will delete both of them in one go. So when you do this docker images, it will only show you the SQL server and a hello world. Let me delete also the hello world. Docker remove and just give the image ID, otherwise it will take. So let me clear this. We have learned the how to check what are the containers, what are the images, how to remove the container, how to stop the container, how to start. Basically did not use the start command, but still we have used the stop command. So instead of start, we can use the start command with the container ID. You can start any container, or you can also do it here. You can see in a GUI also. Here is the container. If you want to run this container, you can just do it like this, and it's your container is up and running without typing any command. Hope so it's fine. So let me stop this for a while. Okay, so now move to the